Good evening and welcome to the January 10th, 2024 Gates County Board of Commissioners regular meeting. I am Dr. Anthony Riddick, the 2024 Chair of the Board. I'm joined this evening by Commissioner Jonathan Craddock, Vice Chair, Commissioner Linda Hoffler, Commissioner Brian Roundtree, Commissioner Emily Truman, County Manager Scott Sauer, County Attorney Pitt Godwin, and Clerk to the Board Jolitha Chestnut. Prayer and Pledge of Allegiance will be led by Commissioner Hoffler. Let us stand.
Please stand, please. Our Heavenly Father, as we come here tonight, thank you for the blessings you have bestowed on each of us collectively, individually, and collectively, and to this county. As we enter this new year, help us work together to make this a better place for all citizens. Help us treat each other with respect and civility, and help us work to make this the place everyone would love to be able to live in. Dear God, I just like to thank you for being a gracious and merciful God, and that you are there at all times, in good times and bad times, and that we will always give credit to you as we live our lives. All these things we ask in thy name for thy sake. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We need to make an adjustment to the agenda. We need to add for new business item D, resolution celebrating Edith Holmes Freeman Sally 105th birthday. So that will be added to the agenda. Now I ask for approval of the agenda.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
You see the consent agenda. You have approval of minutes December 6, 2023 special joint meeting, approval of minutes December 6, 2023 special meeting, approval of minutes December 13, 2023 special joint meeting, and approval of minutes December 13, 2023 regular meeting, and any tax refunds. I need a motion for approval.
So moved.
Second.
Been properly motioned and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Now we have staff introductions. Finance Director William Robertson will introduce Accounts Payable Assistant Victoria Hoggart.
Good evening. First off, I'd like to take this opportunity to thank y'all, the board. I think it's really done a wonderful job giving me the opportunity to hire a person to train with Ms. Marie Roundtree before she retires. I think this will really make a transition go much smoother, and I'm very appreciative of that opportunity. At this moment, I would like to introduce Accounts Payable Assistant Victoria Hoggart.
Good evening. It's nice to meet you. I've met some of you. I just want to say thank you for this opportunity. Being in this job 2 months now, I'm definitely glad that y'all approved to have it a little sooner. It's a lot of information, and Miss Marie has done a great job at making this transition for me very well, and the other staff at the county has just been amazing in the transition. Being the new kid's never easy, but they have definitely made it. People in that building and the other building as well have just made that transition very easy, and I'm grateful for this opportunity.
Welcome aboard.
Welcome aboard, Ms. Hoggart.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Madam Clerk, do we have anyone sign up for public comments? Let's move right along to new business. Budget Amendment F24007, set up Sustainable Forestry Land Retention Project Grant. Mr. Sauer.
This grant is in the amount of $2,500. It's part of the Cooperative Extension 4-H Youth Program. Fairly self-explanatory.
Any questions from anyone? Need a motion to approve Budget Amendment F24-007, set up Sustainable Forestry Land Retention Project Grant for 4-H as presented.
So moved.
Second.
Properly. Motion and seconded, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Ayes have it, so moved. Next is item B, Budget Amendment F24008, to appropriate revaluation funds to start the revaluation process. Mr. County Manager?
Thank you. This item is tied to the 2025 revaluation, which will kick off in just a few weeks. As the board will recall, on September 20th of 2023, the board approved a contract with Gary Piner Appraisal Associates in the amount of $325,250 based on $38.50 per parcel, using 8,500 parcels as the basis. Your revaluation fund currently has $346,000. The budget amendment before you this evening is to carry us through the first 5 months of this fiscal year, using the funds from the revaluation fund for the next 5 months.
Any questions? Hearing none. Need a motion to approve Budget Amendment F24008 to appropriate revaluation funds to start the revaluation process.
So moved.
Second.
Properly moved and second, all in favor? Aye. So moved. New appointment for Gates County Emergency Medical Services Board.
This here, we actually have 2 vacancies on this board, and I've been working very diligently with Chief Butts, and we received 1 applicant. We're currently waiting on another. She's supposed to be sending. Billy Wynn, known as Wynn. It'll be a 3-year term. He's really familiar with the county, and hoping that you all will approve Mr. Wynn.
Any questions or comment?
No.
No.
Make a
He
motion
is
to
more
approve.
than- yeah.
Yeah, he's
More
more
than
than qualified.
qualified.
Yeah. I make a motion that we approve Billy Wynn to the Gates County Emergency Medical Service Board.
Second.
Been properly moved in second. All in favor? Aye. Motion carries. We just added an amendment to the agenda, item D, resolution celebrating Edith Holmes Freeman Silent 105th birthday, and it reads, whereas Edith Holmes Freeman Silent was born on January the 9th, 1919, and whereas Ms. Silence will be celebrating or has celebrated her 105th birthday on January the 9th, 2024, and whereas Ms. Silence has lived a life of service being an active member of the Gates County Historical Society, Gates County Library, Board of Trustees, Arts Council, Merchants Mill Pond State Park, Advisory Council, and lifetime member of Renaissance Baptist Church, just to name a few. And whereas the Gates County Board of Commissioners are thrilled to know Mrs. Silence will be celebrating her 105th birthday, and honored to join her family and friends in congratulating her on this special day. And whereas Ms. Silence reflects upon over a century of memories and accomplishments, we hope that is filled with joy and optimism. And whereas the Gates County Board of Commissioners hopes Ms. Silence is blessed with good health and happiness throughout her 105th year and beyond. And now therefore be it resolved, the Gates County Board of Commissioners wishes to extend to Mrs. Edith Holmes Freeman Silent a very happy 105th birthday. Be it further resolved that this resolution adopted this 10th day of January 2024 shall be entered into the minutes of the Gates County Board of Commissioners and a copy presented to Mrs. Silence. Motion?
So move.
Second?
Second.
Yes,
Second.
sir. Moved and second. We wish her many more years. 105 years is a milestone for anyone to achieve. So let's give her a hand clap, even though she's
I
not
agree.
here. I see one of her family members down at the end.
Happy birthday, Sissy. I'm her nephew and tired of it.
All right. We did not have to do that. I'm going to sign this and hand it over to her nephew for delivery, okay? Family member delivery. County manager report update.
Thank you. Item number 1 was received earlier last month related to the Completing Access to Broadband program that you've heard our board chair refer to as the CAB program. Every participating county is required to identify a matching amount up to a certain dollar figure to be presented to the North Carolina Department of Information Technology. The Broadband Committee is suggesting a figure of $200,000 for this project. And we also need to identify the appropriate source of the funds. And according to Mr. Robertson, based on the board's prior action, this would be the ARPA revenue replacement funds. So I would ask that the board, after any discussion, consider a motion for that. And I think the chair has some comments about some appointments that need to be considered as well.
These funds were set aside when we received our ARPA funds. We set aside $500,000, and by legislation, we have to participate in this CAB level is 5% of the total that we received, $2.some million. So $200,000 is already allocated for it. There is no additional fees at this time. So I do strongly recommend that the board approve this budget amendment so that we can, at the proper time, the county manager can complete you have the form in front of you, the committal form that he has to fill out, and he has all the instructions as far as submitting. So I need a motion from someone to approve this expenditure.
So moved.
I'll second that motion.
Properly moved in second, all in favor?
Aye.
Ayes have it. Another requirement is the selection of evaluation team members. Let me read this. The county will identify up to 2 representatives to serve on the evaluation team to review of the broadband providers' responses. Members of the evaluation team from the county agree to commit the time needed to review responses in an efficient manner to move toward the award. The evaluation team members should have the authority from the county to participate in the selection of an award winner and should ensure they have no personal or professional conflicts of interest with respect to any pre-qualified property provider. This means that with this level, there will be another round of broadband providers in the county vying for this award to do this completion. The team members that I suggest, and I know I've spoken to one, I don't think the other know he's going to be appointed, but our IT director, Mr. Scott Pierce, is a team member. Just bow your head. And Mr. Erna Bright, who's chair of the Broadband Action Task Force in the county, is the second one. They will be in charge of reporting to the county manager and to the board as far as evaluation as they go through the selection of who will get the opportunity to work in Gates County to complete this level of broadband. So I need a motion from the board to appoint Mr. Scott Pierce and Mr. Erna Bright as our evaluation team member.
So moved.
Second.
It's been properly moved in second. All in favor? Aye. Now, Mr. Bright and Mr. Pierce, you have problems with it, see the county manager. But they're also going to be joining 2 members, at least 2 members from the North Carolina Department of Internet Technology. They will also have a minimum of 2 members not from Raleigh to serve with them. They're not going to be working alone. You will have state officials working with you. The maps that we have to use, you will be given a link to that. I think I sent that to the county manager yesterday, to look at the maps of Gates County and see where we need to be deploying the underserved and not served that's left in the county. I am pleased to announce, I think I announced it before, that we have about 93% coverage already, the highest in the Northeast. Gates County is on the move. The next level will be the BEAD, and I'm not going to tell you what that stands for, but we are praying that once we've done CAB, we will have just about this whole camp, I always want to call it campus, or the whole county with access to broadband. It's up to the citizens who they choose and if they want to participate. We're just providing access to high-speed broadband, and that's to be applauded in Gates County, how the Board of Commissioners has worked diligently with the state and other locals as far as getting this done. So give yourselves a hand. Come on, clap yourself. And finally, I do know that with progress comes consequences. We've had a number of cut water lines, and the farmers can't get in and out of the fields. But we working through that, and I want to say that we're even looking at changing. I think yesterday we were on a broadband meeting, Erlen, myself, and others, as far as digging, down to bury the fiber. It wasn't low enough, and Erlen spoke up. So now we're going to send that in and say, no, you're not deep enough. You got to dig deeper, because farmers are digging deeper, so it has to be deeper. So we're on top of it as far as not only pole heights, but now how they're burying, how deep they're going with that. So be patient. We are on it, and call Erlen if you have an issue. Call the county manager. Call Erlen if you have an issue. Call the county manager. Don't call me. And they will get on it and get it done. But we are proud of Gates County for the progress. Mr. County Manager?
Item next, I'd like to ask Mr. Brad Arnold to assist me with this. We have reported in recent meetings about the initiation of the radio meter reader replacement project. They've been on the ground since the first week of December, and he's already had staff in training this week, and I think he's got all good news.
Yeah, for the most part. Well, currently, as of yesterday evening, we have about 420 meters in the ground, which is about 10% of what we have. We done a little trial run yesterday with 25 meters that went off with flying colors. So tomorrow we're going to upload a route of all the meters that we've replaced, and we're going to ride through with the computer and try to gather all those readings and see how that goes.
Okay.
So that's where we're at as far as the meters go. So we're moving forward.
Where have you installed? What part of the county?
They have been installed from, you have to excuse me, I keep getting the crossroads mixed up. It's either Illinois or, it's right here on 37.
Eleanor.
Eleanor's.
Yeah, Illinois. So they started there and they're going north. They went down Sarum. They've gone Water Plant Road all the way to Highway 13 and some down Highway 13. Rentelson, Boomtown, those areas. That's where they're currently working now.
Okay. Any other questions or comments for Brad about water meters? Okay.
Well, I wanted to talk about phone calls, just in case your phone rings. As Brad has explained, that these new meters only run in one direction. There are no moving parts, and you will find we will have very accurate measures of the water consumption for every connection, whether it's commercial, business, or residential. I think he said the first meter was installed December 4th. 30 days later, first week of January, they went out and did some testing. And one of the residential customers for that 30-day period, according to the meter, had used 18,000 gallons of water. And I think the calculation comes up to $109.50 for that 18,000 gallons of water. Now, if this customer had one of our meters that was not performing, they've been accustomed to paying $59 every 2 months. In instances such as this, Brad's got his staff set up so that they will put a door hanger on the customer's front door with a note explaining what the reading was and to encourage them to have their plumbing checked for leaks. Because chances are, for a normal residential usage, 18,000 gallons this time of year seems
Well,
like a lot.
I had another one that I found yesterday. Their new meter was installed December the 18th, and they've had 81,000 gallons go through it already. But that customer knows they have a leak. I showed them the
That's
leak,
more than
they
a
were
leak.
there, they know they have a leak.
That's more than a leak.
So,
That's a bad.
Didn't matter to him, though, when it was not being charged for the water.
well, he's been being charged for the water, he said, I'll pay it. So,
Well, he could have a bill
his bill's,
approaching,
his bill's gonna be somewhere in the $420 range, something like that.
and as I understand the conversation that he had with the customer, they were rather apathetic about getting the problem fixed. And I think as a utility supplier and for a board that has adopted a conservation rate structure, we will attempt to work with the customer to give them proper notice, but at some point, after notice and conversation and assurance that the customer understands the problem, we've got a duty to address this.
I did explain to him that I would give him until the next reading cycle. If it was still leaking, I would cut it off until it's repaired.
Okay. So you're being proactive?
Yes, trying to.
Okay.
81,000 gallons. What's one of our small water tanks? How many gallons is that?
The smallest water tank, which I guess would be the Gatesville, it's 150,000 gallons.
Yeah.
Can I
So
ask,
it's
you
half
said
of it.
December 18th, the meter went in. When did you read it? Because that's less than a month.
Yesterday?
So
Yesterday.
Yeah.
not 30 days.
So,
The meter itself, the face of the meter itself showed
Yeah.
about
I was
about
curious.
6.5 gallons a minute going through the meter. Constantly, steady.
so what I was getting at is how much water volume he's been
Just
using
about
this
half of the Gatesville tank.
tank.
Any other questions?
So, that being said, if for some reason somebody does have a high water bill, they're welcome to call the office and.
Yes.
And talk to them at the office.
And this program that we have now, we can actually go back for whatever, we can data log the meter, we can go back for whatever dates we want to set it, and we can even go down to the hour, and it'll tell you your water consumption, when your peak times it, and we can print all that out, we can email it or get it to you.
And these are the ones that have the leak alarms and everything on it? like
Yes,
something-
these meters that we're putting in now read down to a 64th of a gallon.
60.
So if you have a dripping faucet, it's gonna read it.
Okay. Well, with the county manager, anything else for Brad?
No, but I've got a PowerPoint coming up next, and
Okay.
when you see some of the slides, you might have more questions for him, so.
He's
I
not
just-
going anywhere, so.
Yeah, I just soon have him stay here with me, and we haven't practiced this, and he hasn't seen it, so.
Oh, okay.
No, this is all freestyle.
Where's the bottom?
45 seconds or less, is that what it is?
Here we go.
I think it's important to note for the viewing audience that the board met earlier today with the town council for the town of Gatesville. And we've begun a very open and frank dialogue about long-range planning for water, wastewater, and overall public works utilities. The photo on the bottom left, you may recall here on Main Street, right before Halloween, I think it was, BJ's house was just about underwater with a cut by one of our fiber installers. The bottom right photo is, again, on Main Street, and it's a residential property that's been abandoned and burned out for a lengthy period of time. I'm not sure of the exact timeline, 2 years?
Almost 2 years.
And it appears that we are coalescing around a plan with the support of both the town council and the county commissioners to try to do an all-hands-on-deck approach to helping to eradicate that situation. Next slide, please. Some of these photos are from many, many months ago, but when Brad carried me around the county to see his various installations, we visited the water plant on Water Plant Road, and I snapped a lot of photos. And I think as you see the age and condition of some of the equipment, it's evident that the state appropriation to help the board with rehabilitating the county water system is greatly needed and will bring many benefits. Next slide, please. These photos were taken inside of the plant. And again, I think it's very important that we note at every occasion that $10 million was brought to Gates County through the leadership of Representative Bill Ward and Senator Bobby Hanig. And it's just very exciting to know that that work is right around the corner. Next slide, please. Senator Hanig came, I think it was in November, maybe December, I can't remember the exact date. And several commissioners were able to greet him and visit with him and tour with him to see some of our facilities. And he was keenly aware of the type of apparatus we're using for the radio read water meters. He previously had been a county commissioner, I think, in Currituck County, I believe it was. And he was very interested to learn how these funds are going to be utilized to improve the operation of the system. Next slide, please. The pump station on Honey Pot Road, that's the dirt road that runs between 158 and Mill Pond Road, has needed a lot of attention over time. And we had a situation, I don't recall them up, Brad, when you had, I think, two pumps, both pumps go
Yeah,
out?
both pumps went out at the same time. When did you start? I could tell you.
I came in February, mid-February.
Well, it happened the 1st of March then.
Okay.
Because you hadn't been here very long at all.
Okay. And if we could move to the next slide, please. And as I recall, Brad, through his relationships with other jurisdictions, was able to, did we borrow this equipment or rent this equipment?
I borrowed it from the town of Edenton.
Okay. But again, his staff worked diligently to get that back up and running. Next slide, please. The photo on the left is back at the Honey Pot wastewater pump station. The photo on the right, I believe, is fairly recent. It was one of your water line cut. That might even been the one on Main Street.
That's in front of Miss BJ's house.
Yeah. It's always interesting to watch the juggling they have to maneuver through to get the hole dry enough so that they can get down in there and operate.
That line that you see with the water coming out, that's a asbestos water line.
That's asbestos.
It's asbestos, concrete asbestos.
The next slide has photos provided by Brad. Oh, God. Oh, there it goes. We have a video.
Oh.
That's what
That was Monday night. That was Highway 32 off the road.
and again, he had to borrow equipment to get that hole drained out so that they could make the repair, which you see on the right-hand side.
We had to do it live on that particular one because most of the valves cut that water main off because of Highway 32. asphalt.
I heard something about a sinkhole.
That was on Sandy
Santa
Cross.
Claus,
I get it.
That wasn't us. DOT
DOT.
fixed that yesterday. Well, I got an email, a text
It
message.
is fixed.
Said it fixed it.
So, you renting for volume, but
Favor for favor is what I'm working on with Ted Easy right now. If I need a pump, then, if I need a favor, you just swap the favors back and forth. But, yeah, I'll probably.
It'll be
Because we
budget
use
time
them a
before
lot.
you know it.
I borrow it, I probably borrowed it from Ethan 7 or 8 times.
please,
Sometimes they
make your
happen at the
list.
worst time of day.
Yeah, oh, yeah. Keep your little list to yourself.
Well, and he provided an outline today, I believe, of 15 incidents where water lines were cut, the subcontractors that were putting in fiber lines. Some of those we think we may be able to recoup part of our cost, but the real issue is the cost of the downtime, and the extra overtime that his crew, brought me these photos on the 8th, it was 7 o'clock in the morning, and his crew didn't stop working till midnight the night before. I mean, it's round the clock, this time.
Okay.
Next slide, please.
Oh, okay.
On December 15th, on a chilly morning, Vice Chairman Craddock and I went up on the roof of the community center, and what you see is literally black ice. There was a lot of frozen water on that roof. Johnny Green, the maintenance director for the school system, was gracious enough to coordinate a visit for us with a contractor that has done a lot of work for the school system, that Mr. Green has great confidence in his abilities, in his experience, in his trustworthiness, and he spent quite a bit of time with us, giving us any number of samples to look at that he had from other jobs on his truck, from damaged roofing materials to ideas about the challenges we have up there. You could hit the next slide, please. You can see where the seams have been put together with tar there on the left, and the seams are just popping up, and in many cases, it's one layer over top of another layer that was this first repair over the original layer. So the water just seems to shift every which direction, and of course expands with heat. I think we still have some work to do on this.
It was very neat. I'm trying to remember the contractor's name, but
Was it
regardless. Gordon.
Contractor.
But he brought several different types of roof systems, the old roof system, the new style roof system, and really had a breakdown to visually see. And what happens, like that seam there, the water infiltrates this is the new roof that he's holding up. The existing water that was already soaked in, when the sun bakes on this black tar, it creates a steam because the sun gets so hot on the tar. And then it eventually finds the weakest point, which is a seam, and it separates the seam, and then you get more water. And then it just, same effect, happens over and over and over until the roof is ruined. I mean, it is. It's been patched and patched, so.
And we'll certainly have more to come on this project, but I am very grateful to have a commissioner willing to literally, instead of boots on the ground, get up on a hot tin roof. Freezing.
Boots on the roof.
Those boots on ice, didn't they?
Item next, please. Again, we kick off revaluation in a few weeks. Part of our contract obligation is to cover supplies, postage, computer support, but we also have to provide them with an office. And my experience so far in Gates is that we've got some fairly limited extra office spaces. You go through the 200 building or the new courthouse, the old courthouse, And we are, for the next 12 months, going to use the former EIC building. And if you go to the next slide, Crystal Phillips and her staff have done an outstanding job cleaning the facility, and we can get a little bit of life out of it, at least for the next 12 months, while we evaluate maybe other options for the building. If you could hit the next one, please. But you can see with a little bit of elbow grease and spit and polish, the place cleaned up really well. And you may remember Renee McGinnis, our former tax administrator, is one of the consulting appraisers with Gary Piner, and she seemed very pleased, along with her colleagues, that they'll have a nice space to work out it, and some room to meet with citizens when they come in and want to discuss their appeals and look at comparable properties and maps. They'll have plenty of room to spread out. And then lastly is just my favorite photo of the year for 2023, thanks to the sheriff. And that's all I have.
Thank you, Mr. Sauer, for that comprehensive update. Brad, you will be back, and keep us updated as far as the progress of those water meters and some of the challenges that we're going to experience with our citizens. Next, we're going to have commissioners' updates, but before I even get to that, I want to ask the commissioners about your committees. Are there any committees that you want to transfer off of or not serve on? Because I neglected to do that in December. In December, to reassign or move, transfer, so you know what your committees are. The clerk has you down for all of your committees from 2023. Are you willing to continue those committees in 2024? I'm going to ask one at a time. Ms. Emily Truman?
I'm good, yes, ma'am.
Ms. Hoffler?
Sure.
Commissioner Craddock?
That's a risky question to ask. Yeah, I'm good.
You better not. And Mr. Roundtree?
Yes.
So, Madam Clerk, they have agreed to serve on the same committees for next year. Right now, we don't have any new committees that we're thinking about implementing. If we do, we'll put that out there too. So now I'm going to ask for commissioners' updates. Commissioner Hoffler?
Hello. I have several things to bring up, and so I don't know where to start, but I think I'll start with PGC, which does our convenience sites and all. We are beginning to work with a structural engineer to determine designs, options for the transfer station. Commissioner Craddock serves on that board with me, so that we can move forward with structural repairs. The cement at the transfer station, there are problems with. We have a structural engineer going over, and then we'll ask for proposals on that. But it's something that has to be done there. Also, we were very excited. I think Commissioner Craddock and I both were excited that it was voted on by the entire board to give the contract for hauling to Dixie, that's, of course, located in Gates County, effective March 1st of this year, that they will be doing the hauling instead of the Republic.
Make clear that that was not this board.
That was not this board, it was the PGC.
I just
Yeah.
make that clear.
Okay, it is, very clear. And we asked for proposals, and we evaluated them. You know, I'm chair, Jonathan is a member of the board, but we have representatives from Quemmons and Chowan. It was unanimous.
Yes, it was.
So we were very proud of that. On the Knowles hat that I wear is concerns, I'm a history teacher. We have just been informed by the Department of Cultural Resources with the help of the Gates County Historical Society. They have approved a historic marker for Annie Holland to be erected at Sunbury, in the Sunbury area. This is at no cost to the county. It is done by the Department of Cultural Resources. They have a committee that meets periodically to evaluate. They are very strict about who gets these. A person has to have a statewide significance. Now, to most of you probably don't know who Annie Holland was. Annie Holland came to work in Gates County with Mr. Cooper, T.S. Cooper, and she started programs here in Gates County that eventually will go statewide. She was recognized for her work here. She got a job on the state level and duplicated what she had done here in Gates County. So we should be very proud of her accomplishments during her lifetime and honor her in the next, I think we're going to have a dedication ceremony sometime in the late spring for her, when her marker is revealed. Also, I serve on tourism, and at this time, we are going to do an assessment of our things that we have in Gates County. So many of us who have lived here all our lives, we do not really know some of the things that we have. Certainly, we know about the rodeo, we know about, my mind's going blank, rodeo,
Water skiing?
the bull riding, the different things that we have. What?
Water skiing.
Water skiing.
Oh, yeah, that's water skiing. I had said that a while ago, didn't I? And we're going to do an assessment, and it is true. We need to make sure we can capture money from people who come to the mill pond and let them know that we have other places to visit and do and things to do here in Gates County. And that's a win for us because will increase our tax base and be helpful to us. So we are working hard to increase tourism. Tourists come and they leave. We just want them to leave behind their money. So we're going to try to advertise and promote things here in Gates County, and it will help the people who have small businesses, whether it's a farmer selling honey or Studio 32, or the bull riding that they have at Gates in August. We need to get the word out. And we're coming up with some other ideas about how to attract people to the county. And so that is what I have to share tonight.
Thank you. Commissioner Truman?
Yes. Okay. So December, we kicked off with the opioid task force meeting. Or November, I'm sorry, we kicked off with the opioid task force meeting. We had another meeting January 4th. Had Ms. Jernigan, Mr. Williams are two appointed board members there. Chief Butts, Mr. Wright with the school system, Lieutenant Boyce with the sheriff's department, and then we had various ones from Albemarle Regional Health Service and Trillium and Sunbury Fire Department represented. I feel like it was a pretty good meeting overall. We came up with some ideas, narrowed down some strategies that we're interested in pursuing for Gates County. Our hope is to be able to come to the board in March with a proposal for how to go about the first purchases and all of things for the community. Also, January 30th, Trillium, I've kind of fallen in love with Trillium there, Commissioner Roundtree. So, Trillium has a re-entry simulation that is being hosted in Elizabeth City from 8:30 to 12:30. Anyone can sign up to be a part of that. If they're interested, on the Trillium website, you can find it. It's basically to show you what the different hardships and hurdles that people that have come out of substance abuse or out of jail for various reasons are trying to re-enter, and the obstacles that they're encountering. Help you kind of understand a little bit about the person and not just the situation that they've been found in. So if anybody is interested in that re-entry simulation, I encourage you to do it. They had multiple slots still available, and it's not just like a seminar you're going to go. You'll be given an identity of someone that is re-entering society after some kind of hurdle, and you're going to have to find your way through these obstacles and kind of encounter a little bit of the stigma that surrounds various things. So I do encourage that if anyone is able. We have another meeting coming up at the end of January, January 25th, where we plan to look over some price points and things for some of the different strategies that we've gone over. So I look forward to sharing those with you. And I'm looking forward to March, where we hope to host another town hall for this year. And we are still also, again, looking for community members to be a part of this. So we do have someone from Gates and someone from Yor. Would love to have someone from all jurisdictions in the county, Sunbury, Core Peak, Gatesville, and Hobbsville represented. So if you know anybody or if you are interested, you can apply online or reach out and we can help you find that. But otherwise, I think that is it for me.
Thank you. Commissioner Roundtree?
Yes, good afternoon. I'm looking forward to serving on the boards that I'm assigned to in this upcoming month. Yesterday, I was unable to log on for a Trillium Zoom call due to the inclement weather. However, I will be attending the Albemarle Regional Health Board meeting later this month. Also, the Economic Development Commission Board will meet next month, and DSS will meet the last Monday in this month. So I'm looking forward to giving you updates once attending these meetings in the month of January, and thank you very much.
Thank you, Commissioner Roundtree. Vice Chair Craddock?
All right. Well, first of all, I'd like to thank everybody for coming out tonight. We've got a lot of thank yous tonight. You reflect back on what we did last year and what's being done this year. It's a new year, great aspirations, board that's moving in the right direction. Not only our board, Gatesville, the town of Gatesville is working with us. I mean, it's just, I don't know, there's a lot of good things coming that I foresee in the future. Not that I'm a fortune teller, but I see good things coming. 93% completion on broadband. I'm thinking back when we had our first meeting and Roanoke Connect was coming. It was Roanoke Connect at the time. It wasn't 5 yet. I think Spectrum came to us, but it was somewhere, and I don't know what the numbers are now, but it was somewhere around 712 miles of fiber optic cable that they were going to have to put into Gates County to serve everybody. I don't know how close I am to that, Irma. That was their first, that's what they were selling us the first time. Anyway, 93% complete. Originally, we had $500,000 set aside. So we're at $200,000. $300,000 we most likely, hopefully, fingers crossed, are going to be able to slide over and put into something else. And it's all ARPA money.
Yeah.
It's all ARPA money. I think. Thank you to Erna and Dr. Riddick. Y'all been the driving force behind this. Y'all worked a lot of hard hours. Erna, I don't know how many gallons of gas you burned, but it's been quite a few. But appreciate all the efforts and the hard work. We couldn't have done it without you. You know, your expertise and experience. It was much appreciated, and can't say thank you enough for what you've done for 10,481 citizens who all have access to fiber optic, high-speed internet. So thank y'all for doing everything y'all done. Countless hours has gone into it, I know. I'll follow up on the water bills. I've had calls. If you have questions about your water bills, call the water department. This nice lady will answer the telephone and answer the questions as best we can, and we'll try to get things worked out. It might not always go in your favor, but sometimes it may. So last night we had a heck of a storm come through. So I just want to give a shout out to all the first responders, sheriff's departments, EMS, y'all out in this inclement weather. DOT, they were out on the roads, Dominion, REA, trying to restore everybody's power. So I really appreciate and thank y'all for doing what you do. Going through all my notes. So it's been a long time coming. I finally got there. I finally sent an email a week before last, maybe,
We are officially starting our Health and Safety Committee for the county. I've reached out to certain people that I think would be, their experiences and their knowledge will be wonderful on this committee. To look into the future is what we're looking for, seeing what the fire departments need, the sheriff's departments need, E911, just how can we make it a better, safer place for Gates County and all the citizens. And I'm not naming everybody that I sent it out, EMS, the emergency manager, director. So our first meeting is going to be on January 31st. We're going to meet right here. We're not going to have a big agenda that night. We're just going to decide who's going to keep the minutes and chairperson, vice chair, however we all see fit to do it, how often we're going to meet. And it's a looking into the future and immediate needs. When we're not going around the county manager, but we're just thinking into the future before budget times and stuff gets here, so we can better prepare, or if we hear that a grant's out there, we can go ahead and reach out for it. So Dr. Reddick and myself had some good conversation, I believe it was Saturday, I called you. So for all the small businesses out there, I know it's a different age and time. There's big competitors out that, you know, they can underbid you or however you want to call it. But there is things you can reach out for, e-commerce, getting on the internet, making internet sales, and our local, I call them local agencies, our neighbors, COA, Elizabeth City State, they have help for us, you know. So if you have any needs, give us a call, give them a call. We can set you up with the right people and see if we can get you what you need. Dr. Reddick and myself will be traveling next week to get some training.
Yes, we are.
No, I never turned down any training. I need all the help I can get. But we'll be in Raleigh. We got some chair. I'm trying to remember the exact name of it. Vice chair, orientation. And then I went tag along with Dr. Reddick to some of her
Steering committees,
and then we're gonna, what I like to call, go shake some bushes and meet some folks and go out there with our hands out, see if we can get some more money coming.
We expect money coming back from y'all.
So while we're there, we'll go visit everybody else. And last but not least, to our Gates County team, that's what I'm calling it, because we have a great team. Mr. Sauer, the team that you've built, I can't name everybody because all 99 of them one's just as important as the other. But thank you all for everything you do. I don't know what else to say. Thank you. I mean, it's the work y'all are doing, the transitions y'all are making, turning Gates County around in the forward direction is amazing. And somebody that I forget about all the time. I don't forget about them. I just don't say anything. But our clerk to the board, thank you for everything you do for us. She keeps us straight. She tells us. She keeps us straight. I don't believe that. I don't believe that.
She tries to keep us straight.
I mean, just a little bit of it. And I've got 2-3 years worth of it at home. She keeps us straight. And yes, I still got all those binders. But just a big thank you to the board and everybody that works for the betterment of Gates County. Thank you all for everything that y'all do.
Thank you, Commissioner. Yes, I am going to ride with him. Pray for me.
It's not too bad.
He's driving. But anyway, I'm glad that he's going to go. We're going to spend some time, getting him acclimated to Raleigh. It's a whole new world in Raleigh. It's not like Gates County. But I have a few announcements. I was on the Gates Partners for Health call today. They are planning a Gates County Health Fair January the 27th from 2 to 4 at the Community Center in Gatesville. And there's a flyer. If you don't have it, it will be made available to you, and I'm trying to get it on the website as well. They will have biometric screening available with other vendors. If you want to be a vendor, please let them know by January the 17th. That's the due date, and we have all that information that you can get in touch with them. They're also going to have a Get Fit program. That's an 8-week program, 4 weeks of nutrition, healthy eating, cooking, and all of that. Then 4 weeks of fitness, Zumba, aerobics, yoga, line dancing, all of that good stuff. So they'll have that available for you to sign up for as well. They also asked me to announce that the cancer support group is going to be restarted. It's going to be held every second Monday of each month, and I'm going to get the time for that. But the cancer support group. Also, if you have a child 5 years old or less, there is an opportunity for a child care scholarship. You must be qualified to help to pay for child care. So if you're struggling with child care with a child under 5 years old, 5 years old or younger, there is a scholarship available, and her name is Jenna. I wrote it down here somewhere. But I have all of that information. I'm going to leave it with the clerk. I'll make sure the clerk has it, so I'm going to get with her with all this. Jenna Caldwell, her office number is 252-333-1233. So that's for child care scholarships, 5 years or younger. They also have, in partnership with Dolly Parton, Imagination Library books to all children under 5, free. So call the library and see if you can get in on that. These little children starting to read early. And they also have parenting programs and workshops. So that was online today. Also, you know, Monday is a federal holiday, Martin Luther King Jr. holiday. And Albemarle Food Bank asking for volunteers to come over to Elizabeth City if you don't have any other volunteer programs in this county to help them at the Albemarle Food Bank on Monday. Because that's a holiday. It's a national day of giving, or no, National Day of Service. That's what it's called. So they're asking for people to please come out and help them with that. And then they have something called the Circle of Parents. And that's a support group for families with children with special needs. So there's a lot of opportunities out there for residents in Gates County that we're not aware of. And when I was online today, I said, well, I'm going to announce it at the board meeting and to send things to the clerk so that we can announce it so people know, citizens know that there is help out there if you have needs and you qualify. And that's the Albemarle Alliance for Children and Families. That's that program. And to expound on what Mr. Craddock was saying about help for small businesses, for the business that reached out to him and he reached out to me, I did have a conversation with College of the Albemarle Small Business Center yesterday, and they're more than glad to have one-on-one with anyone with a small business to help them with e-commerce or marketing or whatever they may need to stay competitive in this, you know, the field of whatever they're doing. We also have a meeting, Mr. Sauer and I have a meeting with, scheduled to meet with Dr. Bagwell, who is the president of COA, on February the 1st. That's to do with some training and education. So he's going to meet me over there so we can talk about COA and Gates County, see what kind of activities or expansion we can do in this county. So there's a lot of things going on and more to come. I want to thank, like everyone else, not only the board, but thank the citizens for assisting us. All the people you see come to these meetings, we have to the podium or sitting with them, is to be better than what we were last year. We will be asking for more appropriation. The short session starts. They went back to work yesterday. Went back to work on the 9th. Yeah, yesterday. So they're back in Raleigh. And so we're going to start making our rounds again to see what other appropriations we can get. And let me say this. You saw the needs on the PowerPoint, I mean, all the things we have to do for the water department. There's more on the ground that we don't know about. It's going to take a lot of money to address that, and we're on our way. So don't get comfortable. We have celebrated the 10 million, now it's time to move on. You get some more money. And I will say that one of the criteria for the state assisting us, because we are distressed, is for our people to go, our staff to go to training. So Mr. Craddock and Mr. Roundtree will be taking virtual water training courses, not to ski, but to understand how it works. That's a criteria. And it's virtual, so they don't have to travel. I think Brad has to take the training, and so does William. So if you didn't know, you know now. So, I see you, William. But we will get you the information. We need your information. The county manager will get the information from all of you and send it in. They reimburse the cost is $72, but they reimburse the cost once you finish the course. And so it's virtual. You don't have to travel. You can travel. And this one is in Greenville, training facility or whatever, but you can take it virtually. So we have to have 2 people on the governing board. And so these 2 young men are going to do it virtually, and I thank them ahead of time. County Attorney, do you have anything to say this first new year, this good new year?
No, ma'am, just hope everybody has a happy new year, and I hope this year it could be better than last year, which was remarkable.
And I thank you for keeping Mr. Sauer straight. He wants a crosswalk now. But I thank everyone in this office that he has built, that we have built together. And I'll be remiss if I didn't say I appreciate the confidence you have in me as serving as the chair this year to try to button up some things that we have to. And if I can do anything for any of you, please let me know. If you can't reach me, reach the clerk or the county manager. I'm accessible. I may not be right then, right there, but I thank you and I thank the citizens of this county because we're going to build a greater Gates. With that, I ask for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor? We are adjourned.
I was just,
He looked like he wanted it.
I was waiting for Speedy down there. The sheriff wants to talk.
I was gonna say, yeah. Share.